Exterior Hill Valley High School. Night. Marty comes running out from the school towards the crowd around Biff and pushes through.
Let's back up. Let's everybody just back up and give him a little bit of room, okay? A little bit of air. It's okay. I know CPR. I know CPR.
Hey. What's CPR?
You!
It's fine.
Hey, did you just take his wallet? He just took that guy's wallet.
What the hell? Where is he?
Who?
Calvin Klein.
Who?
The guy with the hat. Where is he?
Oh, he went that way. I think he took your wallet. I think he took his wallet.
In 1988, this man walked into Universal Studios, auditioned for the part of CPR Kid in Back to the Future Part 2, ended up working for about 15 minutes on camera, then drove himself home at 5:30 in the morning in Los Angeles rush hour traffic. Thanks to his brief appearance in this film, most people know him as the "I think he took his wallet" guy.
I think he took his wallet.
But his real name is Wesley Mann, and he's been a successful character actor since the late 80s. In film and television, he usually plays goofy, comedic, one-off characters. His expressive face, his energy on the screen, and his fearlessness to make strong choices have all helped Wesley maintain a career as someone who's often seen, but not so well known. Wesley was kind enough to sit down and talk with me about his life and experices.
You want to? Can we switch seats? Actually, yeah. Let's switch seats. Let's see. Let's see what the eye line.
Yeah, because I have actually two eye lines. my eyes are not straight.
Which one do you prefer?
Well, this is the dominant eye, but if I look at you with this eye, this one goes like woo. It's the secret to my career, I think.
It's been working for you.
Yeah. I'm Wesley Mann. I was born in Vallejo, California, which is north of San Francisco, in 1963. Not in 1959 as IMDb would have it. My father was an electronics engineer with the Navy on Mare Island, which was in a Navy base in Vallejo. That's where my parents met. My mother was one of 9 children, born and raised in a sod house in the western part of Nebraska. And when the war broke out, she came to California to help the war effort, along with 2 of her brothers, and she settled in Vallejo, became my dad's secretary. And the rest is history. I wanted to be a magician in Las Vegas. I was one of those kids who watched, the Merv Griffin show in the afternoon when he was broadcasting from Caesar's Palace. It was like, oh my God. But then came a school play. I was in 3rd grade, an opus called Pagora the Witch, in which there were 3 wizards, Quig, Quag, and Quagflagger. I, of course, being Quag, the number 2. My very first line that I got a laugh on was a line in verse, strangely enough. It was, "When warring with a wizard, she'll be like a snowflake in a blizzard." Well, imagine a 10-year-old cross-eyed kid saying that, and that it got a big laugh, and I was like, this is really fun. That's sort of how it really started, and by the time I was 13, I announced at the dinner table that I was going to be, I knew what I wanted to do, and my mother said, well, that's good, what do you want to do? I said, well, I'm not going to tell you, you'll laugh at me. And she's like, oh, no, we really want to know. And I said, well, I want to be on stage 8 times a week, and I want to make people laugh. I want to be an actor. And she took about, 3 seconds and went, oh, that's nice. But you still want to go to a 4-year college, so you'll be able to teach and have something to fall back on. And at 13 years old, I said, Mom, if I have something to fall back on, I will. I don't know where that came from, but
What got you into film and television?
When I decided that I was going to be in Los Angeles, what I really wanted was to be on a sitcom, because it was the closest thing to live theater on camera. After about 3 months, I got my first gig, which was the Mother's Day episode of Golden Girls.
I think I'd almost forgotten what real cold feels like. I guess I've gotten used to tropical weather.
You here all the way from Nebraska?
Miami.
That closer to Omaha or Lincoln?
Gee, it's great to be home.
And I was just a ticket taker in a St. Olaf bus station, and I had a North Midwestern accent that I pulled out, and the producers loved it.
You want the express or the yokel?
Don't you mean local?
No, ma'am, I mean yokel. On the yokel, a family of first cousins plays banjo music as the passengers get on and off.
Do they take requests?
No?
Give me the express.
It was like being drop-kicked into the industry. I mean, you're working with these veteran sitcom actresses. So that's how it started. And then Family Matters followed. And then, eventually Murphy Brown.
Hi, I'm Murphy Brown, and you are?
The amazing Escapo. I shall simply place these restraints securely around my wrists. And remember, in no time during the performance are you to help the amazing Escapo.
I'll try to resist.
And Home Improvement.
Haven't been down in a while, AJ. You're looking good. That personal hygiene joke was a joke.
I know that, Tim. You know, the thing about us is we both have such a great sense of humor.
Now, you laugh, but I'm not kidding. AJ has the best sense of humor of anyone down at R&D. I'll tell you that right now.
What can I say? It's a gift.
And a few others. I think there's about 25 of them, and some you've never heard of.
Back to the Future Part 2. What was the audition for that?
Yeah, it was wild because I got this copy that isn't even in the movie. It was just a kid who's like saying a couple of lines to McFly, get out of here, McFly, or something like that. Really stupid. So I got on my, horizontal striped t-shirt and tried to look young, and here I am with a casting director and a video camera, and I'm reading copy, and I read a couple of lines, and she was like, thanks, that was great. And then I didn't think anything more about it for weeks, and then got a phone call. Yeah, so they want you in a few days to be at Whittier High School at 4:30 in the afternoon. So it's like, okay. There we were, 4:30 in the afternoon. And I check in, and I'm all nervous because this is, I think I had done My Stepmother is an Alien and Who's Harry Crumb by that time. Those were great learning experiences because I spent weeks on both of those sets. So I was okay. But still, I'm nervous. This is Michael J. Fox. This is Robert Zemeckis. I got to work for about 10, 15 minutes. Mr. Zemeckis. I don't know him enough to call him Bob. Bob Zemeckis says, okay, now turn to the camera and say, I think he stole his wallet.
I think he took his wallet.
Now look away. Now come back. He was rolling just continuous with me. I think he stole his wallet. Now look away. Now look back. Now say it.
I think he took his wallet.
Now say it again.
I think he took his wallet.
Now say it again.
I think he took his wallet.
Okay, now look away. Look back. And then it was over before I knew it. And that's a wrap on Wesley. Oh, okay, great. It's like, okay. Wow, it's like, wow, really famous. Oh, okay. And then driving home, kind of in what is now rush hour traffic in the morning, because it's like 5:30 a.m. People are actually going to work, and I'm going home. This is kind of an out-of-body experience for a 24-year-old kid. And then I didn't know what to do with myself until it came out like a year later.
Caterpillar on Adventures in Wonderland.
Uh-huh.
Now talk about how you got that and what that job was like. You worked that job for, 3-4 years?
Yeah, we did 100 episodes when all was said and done. I was auditioning for the Mad Hatter, and then they wanted to see me for the Caterpillar, and then they told me that I would be the only one reading for the Caterpillar.
This looks like an amusing game. What's it called?
Oh, it's no game. We're stuck together until the hare finds the handcuff key.
But how did you...
You don't want to know.
It's a very long story.
You want to hear a story? Why didn't you say so?
And then the word came, we're starting in October in Orlando. Okay, I guess. So what do? You have your apartment and you ship your car out there. So we were shooting on the MGM Studios lot of Disney World, which had a glass wall in it, so that the tourists could go by. We could be not only a television show, but also an attraction. Yeah. Disney. Always thinking. My particular situation was I couldn't travel because there were 2 other guys in the suit with me. So when they got to do the Macy's parade, or when they got to go to D.C. to meet Hillary Clinton, I couldn't go because it took 3 people to be me. There were two puppeteers inside this enormous suit with Sony Watchmans watching my hand movements and mimicking them. So it was a really fun experience, and you know, something that most actors don't have, which is stability for a while. You know, you actually have enough money for a while to put your shoulders down and not worry about it so much. So that was a big blessing too.
What do you consider your strengths as an actor, and also weaknesses, if any?
Well, the strength, it's pretty easy for me to make people laugh, with this mug especially. It's also a drawback because I'd like to play Richard III someday. Not that he's not funny sometimes. The thing that I have to work on, let's say, or my challenge, is not being too big. Because I love the theater so much that when I get to camera work, sometimes I am too big. And so I need to be pulled back quite a bit. Also, I am pretty mercurial. If you change my hair color, my whole look changes. If you put me in a wig, if you put me in a hat, I adapt very well to different characters. The versatility, I would say, is a strong point that I have.
Do you find working in TV and film limiting to what you want to do as an actor?
I don't ever find it limiting because I like to do what is asked of me. What the exciting thing is about, what are you going to ask me to do next? That's where the juice is, right? And let's see what happens when we get out there. I used to think that way, but then reality sort of sets in after a few years where it's like, am I going to play a romantic lead in a television series? Probably not. It would be ridiculous for me to do that, and it wouldn't sell. So it's show business. So there's a lot of latitude for me to do what I do within what I'm offered to do, I think. So limiting, nah, not so much. I think that would be probably a bad mindset to get into, you know. It's much better to look at how good it is.
What have you been doing most recently?
Taking singing lessons with a wonderful teacher at UC Irvine. I just got back from Las Vegas in a production of the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee at Nevada Conservatory Theater on the UNLV campus. I'm working on a play called The Last Vaudevillian right now at Pacific Resident Theater Ensemble in Venice. Recently signed with a new agent, working with a manager as well, and reinvesting time and effort into the camera career here. They changed my hair color for Spelling Bee, and now I need to figure that out with new headshots because my agent needs new headshots like soon. So I need to deal with that stuff. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Looking to the next gig, like all of us.
And last question, if there's any advice you could give young actors?
If there's anything else that makes you happy as doing this, do it. But if there isn't anything that makes you as happy as doing this, then do this. But do it all the way. You have to do what makes you happy. And I have at least found that if you do what makes you happy, the money will follow. You may not be rich, but you will have enough to do what you do. And if you do what makes you happy, then that's the goal, isn't it? That's been the way for me, and I've been fortunate. Yeah, if there's one thing, it's really about following your heart.